Today we're building a 30-gallon aquatic ecosystem, and when I say build, I mean it. From forming our glass tank to aquascaping and stocking our ecosystem with fish, over the next 30 days we're doing it all, and I'm gonna bring you along every step of the way. Aquatic ecosystems are beautiful, and the fish keeping and aquascaping hobby is one that I've always wanted to try. There's only one major problem. It's crazy intimidating. Between the cost that it may seem to take to get started into this hobby, to all of the rules, whether they be real or arbitrary on how to best fish keep, and then ultimately all the things you have to remember up in your head and account for, this hobby can leave so many people intimidated and on the outside of the glass looking in. But not me! So we're gonna send it today. Bring the wild inside my bathroom and get started right now. All right, so I'm not going to stay in complete uniform. I don't want to wear the hat the whole time. So let me just put this. Get over it! It all started with a trip to Sweden's national treasure, or I should say the place that holds their national treasure. You see, I'm building my tank from scratch using Utrusta glass shelves, aquarium safe silicone, but also trust in one of the OGs in our community. I'm talking about the boy, the man, the legend, Serpa Design.
Yo, what's going on, Serpa Squad? Tanner here.
This is his design, this is his build. I'm just riffing off of it. So using Tanner as a guide, I followed his specifications to a T and was able to not only craft this thing, but get it standing upright. It was a success. And all I had to do now was wait and see if I made a watertight aquarium. To be completely honest, as I waited, I started to really take into account everything that was going on. I started this hobby of ecosystem building with Wirt, my crested gecko, and now a year later, I'm building aquariums. Like, why am I doing this? We made it to day 4, and guess what? No leaks. Look, I never really doubted myself. I very much doubted myself, but here we are. We're feeling strong, we're feeling confident. And remember those materials that I said that I ordered kind of impatiently? Well, they were on the way. All right, I have my list here. I wanted to save money on the build so I could spend money on like the organic material. And this is what my wife's money bought me this time. We got a 3-pot package of Amazon swords, a 5 bunches of Rotala indica. We've got a 5-pot package of Java fern, 2 Anubias chili jalapeno, 4 Salvania natans, 4 banana plants, 1 3D printed, what's it called? Net. And 2 bags of UNS Contrasand. And this all came in at a crisp, $230.59. Sorry, Britt. So the stage was set. It was about time to start scaping. And as one package arrived, I noticed something pretty nerve-wracking. Before I forget, I need to shout out Avery Fitcham 1931, who correctly guessed where I named Wirt after, which is one of my favorite animated series of all time, Over the Garden Wall. Avery caught it, commented on it, and you know what? Anyone who gets an Over the Garden Wall reference is someone who I'm going to like. So Avery, shout out to you. You a real one. And also shout out to all you guys who have subscribed so early on. I could kiss you. Mwah. But I'm not going to. Boundaries. So I'm in a panic because my sand didn't come in. I rushed to my computer to check what was going on, and I looked at the shipping information, and it said 1 package delivered and 1 package on its way. Upon further investigation, I found that my package had never left the place of origin. So I reached out to the seller, and I realized that USPS lost the package. If you know me, you know that just drives me absolutely insane, because USPS and me, if USPS exists, I'm beefing with them. So my plants are in a bucket, in aqua soil. I'm wetting them every day, just trying to figure out what the heck to do. And I just kind of make a last minute decision to go ahead and spend some time with Daddy Bezos. When I tell you I was waiting for this package all week, I'm not lying. And once the sand arrived, I rushed into this room, I grabbed my plants, I put on my creative hat, and I got to scaping. Is the moment. we've all been waiting for. So here's the thing about this hobby that I didn't realize is that the scaping part of it, at least for me, is the easy part. It's the fun part. The hardest part of this hobby is the patience. You see, you have to let your tank cycle before you can introduce livestock to it. You have to let the beneficial bacteria build up. You have to allow your plants to thrive and grow and the other bacteria in the tank to grow alongside of it. And so we just waited and waited and waited. And as we did, life really began to take off. All right, so here are all the things that I've seen happening in the tank over the span of the week that I would say are positives. One, we have plant growth. Huge win. I was worried that they wouldn't pop off, and they are popping off. Two, we have biofilm on the surface and on some of the wood. This process is laborious in reality, and there are a million different ways that people recommend that you do it. I'm not saying that what I'm doing is perfect. And in fact, I've already learned a ton and realized that there's a lot of things that I could have done better. Here's some rookie and novice advice for you. Stick with your intuition. You're smarter than you think. You know what's going on. And make sure that if you have friends that are in this hobby, to reach out to them. Shout out to Wirt. He and I go way back. Alex and I met first in the filmmaking YouTube space. That's where I come from. That's where he comes from. And we're now both participating in ecosystem building. But I have to say, he essentially sherped me through this whole process. He eased some of my anxieties. He showed me some best tips and tricks. And I have to thank him. He's a very talented dude. He makes beautiful aquascapes. Check him out if you can. And you know what? Go in the comments and tell him that I sent you, because I want people to know how much this dude means to me in this hobby specifically. In about a week and a half, the tank would be 1 month old. And for me, it was time to add my livestock. So here's the bad news. There's no good local fish stores in my area. They're pretty far away. And so I ended up going to a big box store just less than 5 minutes down the street from my house. I decided to pick up 3 honey gourami and a few neon tetras. I acclimated them to my tank. I scooped them and got them into my tank. And I saw them thriving. I was so excited. Everything was going perfect until it wasn't.
Let's go gambling! Aw, dang it. Aw, dang it. Aw, dang it. Aw, dang it.
Oh God, what have I done? Like, I couldn't believe it. They were just dropping left and right. And I thought to myself, like, I have ruined this. This is horrible. I killed these poor guys. There is one thing that I failed to mention that I should have been a little bit more thoughtful of before I picked them up. At that big box store, there was a giant sign on the fish tank that said, "These fish are under observation. They are not for sale." I walked over and I said, "Oh, what's going on with these fish? Are they okay to buy or are they sick?" She said to me, "Oh, I meant to take that off. That's my bad." Did she sell me sick fish? Y'all better let me know down below, because those guys were dropping like flies. And of course, like a dummy, I didn't even think about the return policy until it was too late. So I bagged them up and threw them away. It was just a disaster across the board and a massive lesson learned. See, I love to be outside, love to experience the outdoors, but I love also bringing these slices of nature in. And when you bring slices of nature in, you're exposed to things that you don't have to see within the 4 walls of your house, like life, death, cycles, beginnings and ends. Like, I'm numb to that when I'm just hanging out playing Fortnite with the homies. And so having to deal with this on a regular basis is a really great reminder that nature is unruly, uncanny, and has a mind of its own. And that's why we should respect it and honor it and honestly enjoy it. I told you we're not going to become codependent. So just because I had a great time doesn't mean that you have to say that you did too or subscribe. But if you're feeling like this was a great time, if you're feeling like you want to subscribe, you know what to do. Let's keep bringing the wild inside, and I will see you in the next one. All right, peace. I think the loaches are eating a snail right now. They 100% are. Dear God, that's brutal.